Alright everyone, so now we're going to be looking at factoring a perfect square trinomial. So we know what perfect squares are. So for example, 25, 81, 36, 100. Okay? So now, we also need to take into fact that we have variables. So let's say we have a to the second power. So when we take the square root of a to the second power is a. The square root of a to the fourth power is a to the second power. Okay? So now, x to the second power minus 12x plus 36. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see what my factors are going to be. But this one is a little more simple. So here I have a 1. So I'll put it in blue. So the square root of 1 is 1, but I don't write 1. The square root of x is, x to the second power is x. So I put an x here and I put an x here. Then I look here and I take the square root of 36. So the square root of 36 is 6, so 6 goes here and 6 goes here. But because this is a negative, I need to put a negative there. Alright, so here we have x to the second power plus 6x plus 6. So when I take the square root of x to the second power, I get x. And then when I take the square root of 9, it is 3. Because my middle number is a positive, I'm going to put plus there. So again, notice that I just take the square root of this, I just take the square root of that, and then the middle number, the sign tells me what the sign is going to be in front of the numbers there. So because here it's negative, here it's negative. Because here is positive, these are positive. Now if you want to check your answer, you would again do FOIL, the box method, or distribution of binomials. So now, sometimes there's numbers here that's not 1, but it's the same concept. So here I have the 4. The square root of 4 is 2, so I put a 2 here and a 2 here. Here is the square root of x to the second power, which is x and x. And then here, second one, the square root of 25 is 5. So 5 is my second term. And then because the middle number is positive, I put a plus here. Alright, so let's recap what just happened. So I'm only looking at the first term and the last term when I am doing a perfect square trinomial. And I look at the middle number sign to tell me what the third term is going to be doing. So I know the square root of x is x squared is x, so I have x there. I also know that the square root of 36, which is the second term, is green. So the square root of 36 is 6, so I have that there. And then the signs I have here as negative because the sign in the problem is negative. Now in this problem, I'll keep the colors the same. So I'm taking the square root of 4x to the second power. So the square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of x to the second power is x. So I put that there and also there. Now, I also see that in my third term, I have 25. So the square root of 25 is 5. So that's there. And then because this middle term's number is positive, I put positive here and here. Now, you will notice that this term and this term, this term and this term, the whole binomials are the same. So I could just combine them and put x minus 6 all squared. For down here, they're also the same. So I could put 2x plus 5 all squared. So that means I have 2 of them. Okay? And for the last one, same thing. So I have 2 of these. So I just write and I'll just bring it down a little bit. Bring it up a little bit more. So I just have x plus 3 to the second power. Okay? So now I want you to pause it, and I would like you focus, camera, focus, focus, focus. I'd like you to please do those 2 problems. So pause the video and do those 2 problems. I do expect you to pause the video. If you can still hear me talking, you did not pause the video. Alright, so I'm going to pretend that you paused the video. And if you did pause the video, welcome back. So we're just going to go over these 2 problems that I asked you to do. So we have 1 x to the second power minus 14x plus 49. So all I need to do is I need to see my middle number's term, which is negative. So I know that I have a negative there because that's negative also. Let me erase that line I just made because it's not supposed to look like a positive. So negative. So here I have x to the second power, so the square root of x to the second power is just x. And then in the third one, I have 49, so the square root of 49 is 7. And then I put the second power. Now, if you wanted to do it with the 2 binomials, it's fine. You still get the same answer. So x minus 7 times x minus 7. Now, let's say, for example, you did this problem. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure if I got the correct answer. Well, you can simply just FOIL it. So I'll do FOIL. So here I have x minus 7 times x minus 7. And you know me, I love color. So we're going this way. So first, outer, inner, and then last. So the first is x times x, which is x to the second power. The outer is x times negative 7, which is negative 7x. And then we have the inner, which is negative 7 times x, which is negative 7x. And then negative 7 times negative 7, which is positive 49. So I know once I do that, my middle numbers or my 2 terms are like terms. So negative 7x and negative 7x. So if I have 7 lions and 7 more lions come, how many lions do I have? That's correct, 14. So my answer is x to the second power minus 14x plus 49. And that is exactly what we started with. So my check is correct. Alright, for the last one, I'm just going to do it quickly so that you can see what to do. Alright, so that was again factoring a perfect square trinomial. So now we're going to look at factoring a difference of 2 squares. So factoring a difference of 2 squares just basically means that you're looking at 2 binomials that has a positive and a negative symbol. So same thing like the one before. I take the square root of x to the second power, which is x. So I write x in both terms. And then I take the square root of 64, which is 8. Now let's say I didn't know if this was correct or not. So let's just quickly FOIL. And I'll write it in pen. So x times x is x to the second power. X times negative 8 is minus 8x. X times 8, but positive 8 is positive 8x. And then positive 8 times negative 8 is negative 64. Well, I remember that my middle numbers are like terms. And so I see that I have a negative 8 and positive 8x. So if I have 8 lions and 8 deers, how many animals do I have left? I have none. So that just means I am left with x to the second power minus 64, which is what I started with. Bing, 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 bing. So I am correct. Alright, now, same thing here. So I need to remember that one is a plus, one is a minus. And the square root of 16 is 4. The square root of x to the second power is x. And then the square root of 81 is 9. So I put that there, and then I do the same thing here. 4x minus 9. Okay? So now I would like you to please do these two problems. Pause the video. Pause the video. Pause the video. Pause the video. Alright, so welcome back from the pausing. You were actually supposed to pause. So, same thing as before. So I need 2 parentheses. One has to have a plus, one has to have a minus. And I just take the square root of each of these terms. So the square root of p to the second power is p. And the square root of 36 is 6. And that's it. Here, I just need to take the square root of 9, which is 3. The square root of h to the second power is h. So 3h goes in the first one. And the second term is the square root of 64, which is 8. Good job if you got those. Give yourself a round of applause.